Hello, everybody. Welcome to Community Radio. This is episode 9. Spooky is the theme. Thanks for joining us on YouTube. Us, the royal us. We are all royalty here. It's October 25th, 2020 as I record this. It might not be when you're watching this. So make sure to consult all local calendars for up-to-the-date dates. Paul Riley. I'm really excited for today's show. We've got a bunch of songs for you on the theme of spookiness, or just spooky in general. We also have a lot of other things to share. Housewarming harvest was this weekend. Got some thoughts from that, some details about the holiday hootenanny coming up in a few months. Got to talk about the election. A lot of stuff to cover today. So I'm excited for y'all to be here in the show. We're going to just start it off. We're just going to jump into the songs. Well, before we do that, last week I was able to figure out a better way of kind of managing these shows, right? Again, if you're new to these episodes, if you're new to community radio, important thing to know is that we do not have licensing rights to play these songs that you've selected. So what I do, I guess, is record these little video interstitials and then create a full-length video with periods of blank audio and video, during which the idea is that you play the playlist on Spotify. Figured out that the point of this is that I figured out last week that I can create a version of a playlist which has silent songs, silent pieces. So as we start the first song, you just go to the Spotify playlist, and when I say go, you hit play, and then you can just leave both things on. You can let the playlist play, you can let the video go, and it should work out pretty well. The one caveat, and I experienced this as someone who does not have a premium account, who's not paying to use Spotify, there are going to be ads. They may interrupt if you are also a non-premium user, right? If you're not paying directly, you'll have ads that pop up. So when that happens, just come back, pause this YouTube video. When the ads finish, go back into it. It might get a little out of sync, but it'll be good enough for our purposes here. So hopefully you enjoy it. We've got about 7 songs, I think, today. So we might be looking at another 40 to 60-minute show. Depends on how much I feel like talking. And gang, you know me. I love to talk. So let's stop that, though, for now. We'll get into more Paul Riley monologue hour in a bit. But we're going to go ahead and start off with a band that is no longer around, the Instruments Band. One of the key members in this group, Ben Morey, has gone on to become just a prolific songwriter and musician. He's got an album coming out in November with his band The Eyes. It's already ready for pre-order on Dad Stash Records. If you want more details, check out the forum where I posted about that. But we're going to stick back in 2009, 2007? I forget when Make Good Choices came out. Anyway, the album is called Make Good Choices. It's from 2007, from the band The Instruments Band. And this song is Harmony Hill on WRBP Community Radio. Go ahead and start the playlist. That was the Instruments Band with Harmony Hill off their 2007 album Make Good Choices. Definitely check that album out. It's definitely a strong collection of fantastic Americana songs. So if you're a fan of that kind of music, I think you'll really dig the album. Old Abe Lincoln, the opening track, is a Perry Apartment staple on Myra College. So hopefully that becomes something you're familiar with after you listen to that album. But we, here at WRBP, we have some public service announcements, and we've got a rerun of a PSA from last week. So these are very important to maintain our status as a quality community radio station. So let's dive in with cake making. Have you ever baked something, say a cake? You get all of your ingredients, eggs, oil, sugar, flour, other ingredients as required by dietary restrictions. And after mixing them all together, what do? Well, you put it in a pan for the actual baking. Well, in the same way, fighting fascism requires a lot of ingredients. Being anti-racist, that's the flour. Supporting mutual organizations, like the oil. Protesting in the streets, the sweet sugar. But if you're not voting, it's like you're pouring your batter right down into the bottom of your oven. It catches on fire and burns your house down. So make sure you have a plan to vote by or on Election Day, November 3rd. Get a friend to serve as an accountability buddy. Celebrate the work of standing up for justice and democracy and telling fascists to go to hell. Otherwise, baking cakes will be the least of your concerns. All right, gang, make sure you got a plan to vote this by or on November 3rd. Jackie and I will actually be counting ballots here in Lowell, Massachusetts at some point in the coming weeks. So lots of opportunities to get engaged and a lot of cool things that are happening. So a lot of Riley Brothers Party's community members are helping to get out the vote, helping to make sure people are registered. So do your part. And voting is the simplest step you can take. So make sure you have a plan. Gang, we're going to get back into the music now. We've got a song coming up from, this was chosen by James H. This song is from the artist RJD2. Let's see what James wrote about this song on the RBP. Oh boy, I didn't have this pulled up. Amateur hour. This is college radio for you. This is just a classic song from James, from his Halloween preparation days when we actually dressed up in costume and went places. So enjoy this song from RJD2, The Horror, on Community Radio. That was RJD2 with the horror. Great, great addition, James. I think that's what. Again, I said this before in many episodes, but one of my favorite elements of this radio series is discovering new music pieces, songs, artists. So hopefully the same is true for you. I've got a bunch of songs ahead that I've never heard before, even before this very show. Because a lot of them were added today, so like a little slow on the. That's all right. That's all right, gang. Uh, it's all right. I'm not hurt about it. A little bit. No, I'm just kidding. Again, gang, there's got to be a part of every show where you're like, he could have edited it out. He didn't have to keep that in. He could have just re-recorded it, but that's how you know it's real. It's live in a way because it's just this is how it's going. Yeah. So again, RJD2, great suggestion, James. We've got some updates from the Housewarming Harvest, which was this weekend. We'll talk more broadly about that in the next break. But Friday night, for the Friday night kickoff to become a staple of our parties, we got down to it. We had a March Madness of Halloween candy. Is March Madness trademark? We had a Marzo Lunas. I'm not proud of it. But we figured out what's the best Halloween candy. We had 4 regions competing. We had the fruit flavored, we had the movie theater, we had the novelty candy store, we had the candy bars, the classic, the big ones, the counters. So the fruit flavored, there were some battles here. We had Skittles versus Jolly Ranchers. Skittles went ahead. Gummy worms and lemon heads, the sour stay behind. Gummy worms went ahead in that. We also had gummy bears, which advanced. Lifesavers and airheads. Airheads just knocked it out, and they went pretty far until we got to Skittles versus Starburst. The winner was, you gotta taste the rainbow. Skittles advancing to the final 4. Down in the movie theater candy section, we had Reese's Pieces just cruising through. M&M Peanuts being defeated by the aforementioned snack of E.T. Swedish Fish made it pretty far along the line. My favorite to win, Junior Mints, getting knocked out by 11 seed Swedish Fish, which went pretty far along. Bunch of Crunch. This is a candy that not many people had tasted, but just the description alone was enough to get it down to the Sweet 16. But ultimately lost to Reese's Pieces, which advanced to compete against Skittles. Over in the candy store section, we had a bunch of different classic penny candies and those convenience store kind. Sour Patch Kids went pretty far again, getting to the Sweet 16. We had Warheads also knocking out Jawbreakers, Gobstoppers, and Pop Rocks to advance to face Sour Patch Kids. Down in the Circus Peanuts gang didn't stand a chance. Push Pop advancing, ultimately losing to Pop Rocks. Big League Chew and Baby Bottle Pop stood no chance. Ultimately, Sour Patch Kids versus Warheads saw the sweet and sour children advance. Sour Patch Kids in the final 4. Down in the candy bar section, we had Take 5 with its multitudinous conglomeration of flavors. We just wiped the floor with a payday. It's like eating sawdust. Like, come on. Kit Kat, though, ultimately beat Take 5 and the Heath Bar to advance to the Sweet 16. Or, no, 32nd. I can't do that. Okay. Reese's Cups ultimately went to the Sweet 16, defeating Three Musketeers, Milky Way, and the Kit Kat. On the other side, Snickers blowout against the Mounds Bar, stuck it to the snobbish Toblerone, and Bart Simpson was depressed to see his beloved Butterfingers fall to the Snickers. Twix and York Peppermint Patty falling along the wayside until we get to Reese's Cups versus Snickers. Reese's Cups, unsurprisingly, advanced. In the Skittles versus Reese's Pieces, it was not the fruit flavored day. Reese's Pieces advanced to the final round, and Sour Patch Kids versus Reese Cups. People again wanted the chocolate and peanut butter taste sensation to advance. Reese's Pieces versus Reese's Cups, a real civil war of the candy world, gang. And it was brutal. It was down to the wire, but ultimately Reese's Cups won the 2020 Best Halloween Candy Challenge. So, what are your thoughts, reactions, feelings, concerns? Just candy you love, not even seeded? I don't know. Post it down in the comments, I guess. Let's have it out. It's all but the clicks, you know? But Reese's Cups made it regardless. A lot of 64 different candies to enjoy. So, maybe go grab one of your own while you listen to the next song on the playlist. In the Room Where You Sleep from Dead Man's Bones. Selection from Ethan. Thank you very much. Enjoy this song on Community Radio. All right. That was In the Room Where You Sleep from the artist, the band, group, assemblage, Dead Man's Bones. Thanks a lot, Ethan, for that. I think when the past two songs, right, there's so many different ways to define spooky in a musical sense. So I'm excited for the next four songs. We got some solid ones ahead. But first, we shared a little bit about listen, first of all, Jackie using Slack while I'm talking. Slack is quality product. Not being paid to say that. We have no advertising. Um, but yeah, so we had some other stuff from the harvest to share. Yesterday, we had a few people stop by. We ended up doing most of our gathering outside in local riverside, canal side space. Got to see newest dog addition to the community, Luna, 13-week-old dog of James and Kellyanne. Everybody enjoyed that, except for Lando. Lando, we realized, is like the kid at a party that talks to the adults instead of the other kids, which no knocking him, right? That kid is probably, like, I think Kayla said, like the kid reading books at recess. Those people turned out all right, But yeah, so that was great. Appreciate people coming out. We also tried to keep distance and all wore masks while we were there. I think wanted to be present with each other, but also wanted to do it safely. For those who weren't able to join, we did do a virtual hangout in the evening. Ended up playing a really fun version of Celebrity. So we're going to try to do another game night in the coming weeks before the Hoot Nanny. There'll be more details about that special party in a later break. But also wanted to share the community toast this morning. Really appreciate people coming out for that and sharing thoughts and concerns about the election. I'll close today's show with some more reflections on that. But just to prelude to that, remember you've got a good number of people who are here for you. Talk things out. Share the load during this really challenging time. With that said, we're going to get to one of the classic artists when it comes to the guttural wailing of the American soul, the rattling cage of, I don't know. Gang, that's as far as I got. Tom Waits, Army Ants. Enjoy this song. Thanks, James R. for James Riley, right? Riley Brothers Party. We can say our last names here. Army Ants, Tom Waits, Community Radio. Love a good creepy song. Good job, James. That was Tom Waits with Army Ants. Uh, Gang, first of all, again, Tom Waits, check him out if you don't know him. Also, connection to Halloween, it is likely that Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, is the model that is photographed on the cover of his 1976 album, Small Change. But that song comes off of Orphans, Brawlers, and no, wait, let me get this right. I don't think it's Bastards. I was going to say Brawlers, Ballers, and Bastards. That's not. It's Ballers, right? Or Brawlers, Ballers, and gang. I don't know. There's no excuse. There's no excuse for this. Tom Waits album, Orphans, Brawlers, Ballers, and Bastards. Balling is in the crying, not balling out. I think that's what confused me. The homonym, ballers. You think I know better by this point, gang, right? You think I would have known better, but I don't. You know what I do know? We got some news. We got some exciting entertainment news. We got some community news right now. Will Wiggins, friend of the Riley Brothers Party, legendary human being, an all around great guy, has a podcast. If you aren't aware of it, Black Oni, just put that into your search bar, wherever search service you use, whatever podcast platform you frequent. Today, he interviewed David Hayter, the voice of Snake from Metal Gear Solid, I'm pretty sure. He shared this with us at the Friday Welcome at the Housewarming Harvest, and a lot of people were excited. I am really excited because Will is excited, even if I don't know who this person is. And even if I'm not sure, I know who Snake is. I'm pretty sure that's the. But anyway, Will is a great creator, artist, video gamer, got a lot of stuff out there. So check him out. Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, podcast stuff, Black Oni. And again, just can't say enough about Will. He's just a great human being. So check it out. You know who else is a great human being? I don't think the Phantom of the Opera is. So we'll keep searching. But now, for this show, we're going to listen to Andrew Lloyd Webber, a piece from Andrew Lloyd Webber's classic Phantom of the Opera, the aforementioned Phantom of the Opera. WRBP, Community Radio. Gotta have a little musical in your life, gang. That was the Phantom of the Opera. I think the Geraldine Butler version. Thanks, Jamie. Haunting Oregon, right, gang? Spooky. Never felt so Oregon. Yeah. Hey, gang, don't worry. You're like, hey, Paul, we're almost done. No, we got more songs. A late addition from Sylvia that I almost forgot to include, but really excited about that. It sounds like a pretty BA song maybe you got coming up. But wanted to share, hey, there's so many ways you can stay connected to the Riley Brothers Party community in between celebrations. We've got the website, RileyBrothers.party. We got the forum on that website. You just do that same address, RileyBrothers.party/forum. You can register and check. There's a lot of stuff out. There's a section for the parties. There's a section for the radio shows. There's a section for the Who Ya Got, the newest addition to the daily updates from James Riley. Every day there's 2 different options. You pick one. Really as simple as that. We've also got the Discord server, which is basically our chat space. So you might be familiar with it as a gamer. There's a lot of live streaming or connections. I don't know. I'm not a gamer. I'm still playing Civilization 3 from 2002. So don't ask me. All my games are Nintendo 64. Stream that. I think you can actually. Emulators or something. Discord.gg/capital R, lowercase a, capital B, capital T, 8, capital R, 4. Check out the forum in the community space section for the direct link. I'm not going to put in the YouTube thing. I don't feel like you just register with the forum, then you get access to the Discord, then you get the money. Then you get the sugar. Yeah, and we're looking to do a lot more in between parties, so definitely check these spaces out. They're getting more popular by the day, and yeah, it's just a way to stay connected to people. Yeah, so that's all I got for this break. We're gonna keep the music rolling. We've got classic Jackie, my wife, greatest person. Listen, a lot of these selections today are great, but I would take this song over my own for essential spooky listening. From the minds at 30 Rock, this is Werewolf Bar Mitzvah on WRBP Community Radio. Werewolf Bar Mitzvah, the geniuses at 30 Rock, and Tracy. The first time I ever drank and got drunk, I tried to quote Tracy Morgan or reference Tracy Morgan's character and got confused his real name from the show name. Real person Tracy Morgan, show person Tracy Jordan. I'm not proud of any of it. I shouldn't be. I know I shouldn't be, so I'm not. But do love that song. And also shout out to Jenny D. Who's never been called Jenny D. Jen D. in Western United States. My birthday twin. Love you. Miss you. I didn't choose that song, but I'm going to say it's dedicated to you. So, yeah, gang, we've got the Holiday Hootenanny coming up in a few weeks. December, we are still finalizing details, but the thing we are most excited about is that in honor of the 11th annual Holiday Hootenanny, we are going to do 11 days of hoot. So each day we'll have a little activity culminating in a extravaganza all day. Likely no in-person components as COVID continues to be rebounding and winning the fight against humanity, unfortunately. So we want to do what we can to mitigate that, but really lean in and celebrate because we'll all need it end of the year. And if you don't think that we'll be all belting out Mountain Goats this year at some point, maybe even every day, we'll just end that way because we need to get through it. But in the meantime, we've got another song from you, Kayla. First time appearance on the show. I'm going to read a little from what she shared in the forum, just to add some context. I first heard this song when working at an assisted living community where she ran a 2-hour-long music program once a week. A man named Herb requested this song, and while this song doesn't start out spooky, it definitely gets there. So we've got Jimmy Cross right now with the song I Want My Baby Back. Thanks, Kayla, for the suggestion, and thank you for listening to Community Radio. You gotta love it. I Want My Baby Back from Jimmy Cross. Kayla, love it. And I love to reference our earlier song, Werewolf Bar Mitzvah, the kismet nature of these playlists, how they flow into each other, how this that song just followed Werewolf Bar Mitzvah perfectly. Gang, we have one song left, but don't tune out after that song finishes. We got an update for next week's theme and some other updates. You saw Lando back there eating. He had a late dinner, but he's all right. He's doing a little tuckered out this week. We'll talk it out this weekend. We're just going to keep it moving. Right now, we've got a song chosen by Sylvia, Dance with the Dead. This song is The Man Who Made a Monster, described by Sylvia this way. Might be a little too on the nose for spooky, but I'll be damned if I don't love it. If you don't imagine Frankenstein's monster hammering on a keytar to rebel against his corporate music producer master while listening to this, I don't know what to tell you. I love it. I'm ready. Strap me in for Dance with the Dead on Community Radio. What a way to end this show. Thank you so much, Sylvia. That was great. That was The Man Who Made a Monster from Dance with the Dead. Gang, we got a spooky playlist this week, so definitely play the songs throughout the week ahead. Get ready for Halloween on Saturday. Even if you don't have trick-or-treaters coming, doesn't mean you can't buy a bowl full of candy for yourself. Dress up, do whatever you can. We'll be back next week with episode 10. And that theme, hope. Hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. 4 years ago, on the day after the 2016 presidential election, John Green, author and personal hero of mine, read these words written by the essential American poet Emily Dickinson. They've reverberated in my head over the past 4 years, and I turn to them now as we prepare for our next presidential election. It's no secret that I believe Donald Trump to be a manifestation of all that stands in opposition to my values and beliefs, but I will not dwell on the negative, on my opposition to him and what he represents. I will instead focus on what I believe to be a core human force, hope. We see hope in artistic endeavors. On November 1st, 1512, the first public exhibition of the ceilings of the Sistine Chapel occurred. In 1604, Othello and The Tempest, 7 years later, were first performed, two of Shakespeare's classic works. We see hope in the pursuit of knowledge. On November 1st, 1870, the Weather Bureau, which would later be renamed the National Weather Service, made its first official meteorological forecast. And on 1897, on this day, November 1st, the public had its first access to the building housing the Library of Congress. We see hope in the building of connections. Michigan's upper and lower peninsulas are connected via bridge for the first time when the Mackinac Bridge opens to traffic in 1957. The European Union is formally established when the Maastricht Treaty takes effect in 1993. And for all of you fans of service, national and international, 1960 on November 1st, John F. Kennedy announces during his campaign for president the idea for the Peace Corps. It's essential to remember how powerful of a force hope can be. It alone cannot make the changes we need for our community, nation, and world, but it is an essential catalyst. In recognition of our eternal need for hope, our theme for episode 10 will be hope. So please choose a song, add it to the playlist, which I'll be posting shortly on the forum. One song, hope. What gives you hope? We're also going to have a section on the forum for you to post other things that bring hope to you, whether it be more songs, art, poetry, writing, visuals, quotes, stories, everything. We are going to try to build over the next week a repository of hopeful things. So regardless of how the election goes on Tuesday, whether we are able to bend the arc of the universe back towards justice or not, we'll have that. I'm going to close out. Love you. Have a great week. Be hopeful. And, in the meantime, be a little spooky as well. Take care. Bye.